We back, y'all. The Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. Y'all know what it is. YouTube. Catch us on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, Twitter, iTunes, and we're working on the Instagram. We also, yeah, them shirts. Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. Tim is sporting one. But Sixers lost to the Bucks 117-124. It started as a blowout. I think the Sixers got within 10 with our starters. Then it went back up a run again. Then, and did the bench, they scored a couple points, made it look a little more respectable than it could have looked at the end with 117-124. Who wants to dive into this game first?
I'm going to dive into it because the first thing I want to say is that I legit felt Doc gave up too easy. I thought we had a chance to possibly win the game if he'd have brought the starters back in. They go State. Milwaukee. That's my second squad. Milwaukee left their starters in all the way to like a minute. It was less than 2 minutes left in the game before they finally pulled them. Then put them back in because they thought we was about to come in and steal the game late in the game. So they got shook, put Middleton and come on, here we go. Tim, get control of your podcast. But
you can't be texting people during the podcast, then say turn your phone off.
They put Middleton back in, and they also put Giannis back in because they were scared they was going to lose. So to me, I'm not saying if we didn't put our starters back in, we was guaranteed a victory. However, I think we gave up on that game too easy. We got the game within like 12 points. It was like 11 to 12 points. Matter of fact, it was probably about 4 minutes left, and Shake Milton missed a free throw that could have brought us back in with either 10 or 11 points with about 4 minutes left to go in the game. So that's a winnable game to me. That's a winnable game.
You think if we brought our starters back in, we would have had a better chance of winning, right?
Yes.
I totally disagree. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to give you the numbers, right? Plus minus. Our starters, plus minus, Toby, -17. Danny Green, -18. Joel Embiid, -19. Curry, -15. Hill, -15. Our bench.
Okay, when did
Hold on. Our bench. Mike Scott, +8. Tolliver, +8. Reed, +8. Dwight Howard, +2. Maxey, +6. Thibault, +5. Tucker, +5. Milton, +2. Joe, +8. You know what that tells you? Every time they put the starters in, they went on a run.
No, don't.
You seen it. They did. Our starters played worse than our bench.
It tells me that, first of all, that's insane to think that our bench plays better than our starters. They might have spurts where they do good.
We didn't go on no runs with our starters.
Hold up. Do you understand that Milwaukee did not miss one shot until they had 26 points? And they didn't miss again till they had 30. They didn't miss again till they was just hot. I mean, it would have been anybody. Would you think the bench would have stopped that? It would have been anybody. And they didn't miss again till they scored 33. So they scored 26 straight points, then scored 7 straight points, and only missed 2 shots. So and 33 points.
Who was cutting the lead? Who was cutting the lead?
Our starters at one point cut the lead.
No, they wasn't.
Yes, they did.
No, they wasn't.
Our starters came in to play.
Tim, should you break up this brotherly squabble? They kind of going on for a long time. You know, I'm letting them go, but
because you don't have nothing to say.
I do have something to say.
What you got to say then?
Ben Simmons. How about that? Ben Simmons ain't played 3 games. We lost 3 straight games. Everybody always talking about when we ain't got Embiid, we lose this, that, and the other. Ben Simmons missed 3 games. We lost 3 games. Drew Holiday went to attacking George Hill early on, inside and out. Our defensive rotation was trash. They were getting a whole lot of wide open threes. And you say what you want about Ben Simmons. We miss having Ben Simmons.
We missed him on defense.
Even on rebounds.
We played 3 better teams. We played better teams.
But here's the thing that
we played against the Clippers with Ben Simmons. We won.
But here's the situation.
But were they better team? But they didn't have Kawhi.
Ethan, can I get him, please? The Bucks, the NBA did the Bucks and the Sixers no favors. The Bucks haven't played since Monday, and we're coming in on the second half of a back-to-back. This was all about scheduling. This was a terrible game for us. Just the fact that the Bucks was sitting around chilling since Monday. So of course they came out and they hit everything. They shot They scored 77 points in the first half. That's not like us. We don't do that kind of stuff as a team. This was scheduling. I blame this loss on the NBA, if anybody.
We actually didn't shoot bad ourselves. We was 50% from three, 55 from the field. They just were and they end up ending with 44% from three and 50% from the field.
That's my point. They was doggone there historically hot. They wouldn't miss. The dude, Joey Porter, whatever his name was, this
Bobby.
dude went
Respect that name. Respect on his name.
Well, I'll put respect on his name.
From now on, he's gonna call OG Bobby.
I guarantee you, I guarantee you, when we see him Saturday, watch he be old garbage Bobby. Watch how fast his game turn around.
Because Ben gonna be in there.
Y'all know what happened tonight?
I'm gonna give Ben a whole lot of props
tonight.
Because when we lost games, when we was losing games, everybody still wanted to say Bulls in there talking about something. Yeah, that's because Ben Simmons. That's why our offense was off, even when he ain't playing. Well, guess what? Ben wasn't playing tonight, and we got rocked. Our defense got rocked.
We lost last time we played with Ben against the Bucks, right?
We lost, but it was overtime.
What you mean when the Bucks came back and won in overtime?
But we lost.
When we were undermanned.
But didn't we lose with Ben?
And we were undermanned. And we were undermanned. We had it. We didn't have Embiid. We got Embiid now, right?
But you didn't say that when we didn't say that about the Clippers when we beat the Clippers. So you just got to keep that same energy.
I do got that same energy, but
no, you don't.
Guess what? The Sixers are 500. The Sixers are 500 or less than 500 without Ben Simmons, and they're 500 and they're 500 with Embiid. So like I said, last pod, we need all three of our big three to beat good teams.
Another thing that we struggled is we got killed today by two stretch fives. We got killed by Lopez and we got killed by the boy Portis. And if Ben Simmons was in the game, that we wouldn't have got killed like we got killed today.
I agree.
I do agree with that. I honestly think Doc, this may sound a little unconventional, but without Ben in the lineup, he may have considered going with a quick lineup of Dwight and B at the same time because Tobias can't handle Tobias. No. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you before y'all start jumping.
Well, first of all, you said a quick lineup with Embiid.
What you said was like
that's not a quick lineup.
That's not smart.
I'm not talking about quick. I'm talking about a short interval of time to see how it will work. Quick. And then that's what I'm saying. And let me finish. Let me finish before y'all start interjecting what y'all don't know. Second, the reason why I say that,
it's dumb what you
the reason why I say that is because it's dumb. It's dumb and they scored 20. It's dumb and they scored 26 straight points. It's stupid. Okay, it's stupid and they scored 26 straight points before they missed.
They were killing us.
No. Let me finish. It's stupid.
Don't ask a question.
I'm not asking a question. I'm making a statement, and you keep jumping in. So be quiet.
Make your dumb statement, and we're going to dissect it. Go ahead.
Y'all done? It's stupid. It's stupid, and they scored 26 straight points before they missed the shot. And why did they score 26 straight points? One reason was because Lopez was way out yonder and B couldn't get out there. And he was hitting everything under the sun. And that stretched our whole defense. So now you scared of Giannis, right? You're scared of Giannis. So obviously B can't stick Lopez and Giannis. Tobias can't stick Giannis. So at that point, you need somebody who is athletic enough to cover Lopez and let B stick Giannis, who's tall enough and athletic enough. That's where you might want to interject somebody like Dwight, just for that reason, for a moment, at least to cool them off, because they were so hot, you had to stop at least one of them. The boy Lopez hit like 3 3-pointers and with nobody on him. Are you
done?
Now I'm finished.
Go ahead, Ethan.
That was a long man.
It was.
After that,
and y'all got to say, and y'all got that.
If you watch,
so what would you have
done? You was done. Wait a minute, I thought you was done. It's my turn. It's my turn. It's my turn.
No, it's not.
Go ahead, Ethan.
If you notice, he did after Lopez hit them 3 threes, he put Mike Scott on it. Lopez, I don't think he scored again after that. But they should have been B. If B would have tried to run out there, he was too far, so it was a mismatch for B. But would Ben have made a difference? Maybe so. But the way I actually think the way they played, they was steaming hot. But the way they're playing now is better for Giannis, where he doesn't have to carry as much load as he used to. The playoffs where they tighten up, but if they hitting that, Giannis didn't even shoot that much. So He's better attacking, kicking out for the three, kind of like what we wanted our boy to do that I won't name, Ben.
Yo,
But I don't think he ever get there. But I think this game, it was way out of reach. There's no reason to put your starters back in. It was no reason to risk injury to Joel Embiid playing a back-to-back to throw him in for a game that we wasn't going to win. So I think it wouldn't have been smart to put Embiid back in the game. He just played a back-to-back. He played a lot of minutes yesterday. Go ahead, cool him off. Let's see if we can come back Saturday. And
I agree with that. The one thing I'm a positive that I am taking out the game is the boy Maxey to me is getting better as he plays. Like even today, I've seen him. He had 2 catch and shoot 3-pointers in the first half alone, and that was impressive because before he was horrible. I mean, he's still not great, but I like what I'm seeing. And I know y'all gonna think I'm crazy for saying this, but when I'm looking at him, I'm saying a little bit. Kobe is, as far as
mute him.
You know what, Ephraim, I take it back because I thought what you were saying earlier was the dumbest thing that was said on this podcast.
This is what I'm saying.
But you actually made a valid point with what you were trying to argue. I don't see Tim making this any kind of way kind of about. Listen, what is you smoking? What you got, edibles? Yeah.
Listen,
what you on?
What I'm saying is
medical. We got that medical cannabis.
He had one good game.
He got the street uncut.
He had one good game in the last 10.
He got straight from Colombia.
I mean, let me ask you this though. What makes you say?
I meant to say Toby. You know what I mean? It's like nah.
I mean, what makes you say Kobe?
What Toby you talking about? You talking about Toby from Roots? You talking about Kunta Kinte?
No,
you ain't talking about Tobias Harris.
I'm talking about his rookie season when he was shooting, where he wasn't scared to take shots, even though he was bricking a lot and he was just shooting, but he had the confidence. I see the same type of confidence in a young boy that I seen in Kobe at that particular time in his young career. That's all I'm saying.
Shook has no confidence.
I can see the confidence. Actually, Shake Milton played pretty good tonight. To be honest with you,
Shake played well.
Shake played. He stepped it up. He did what we was asking him to do. He stepped it up. I mean, he a bench player. And he gave you bench player. He gave you a little bit more than what I expect the bench player to give you, which was 20 points. The 6 man, I mean, I want you to give me at least 15 to 16. He gave us 20 a night, played pretty well, kind of kept us within, like I said, striking distance. But I thought we could have put the starters back in and possibly made a late run. The only reason why I kind of agree with Ethan saying you don't play B is 2 reasons. You're coming off the back-to-back and you play Milwaukee again on Saturday. If you didn't play Milwaukee again Saturday, I would say you put Bede in because this to me reminds me of that Nets game. Wow, when I came on here in the podcast, I said that Nets game was the hugest game we played to the year because it was a mental edge. We had to make sure we beat their backups because if we couldn't beat their backups, we going in like we can't beat their backups. How are we gonna beat their starters? So to me, this game held the same type mental edge if it was a long break before we played them again. But we get to play him again. Hopefully, Ben will be back. I do agree with you, Wayne. Ben is very game-changing defensively. And he could create for other boys offensively. I'm not going to say he can't for that, but I'm not expecting Ben to change how he scores from his offensive standpoint. But he can get other dudes involved, and he does play defense, which I think would have – where I was saying Dwight could have came in for spurts to kind of cover Lopez.
No, listen.
We wouldn't have had Dwight. We wouldn't have needed that because we didn't have Ben.
Some grief, but the way you described it, I can see the point of what you was making.
But
I'm gonna say that. Hold on, my turn. Y'all been going at it a little bit. This the other thing that Ben Simmons brings, though. If you notice, since Ben Simmons hasn't been here, we don't get as much fast break offense. We say what we want, but Ben Simmons get that defensive rebound and he run up court, and it causes the defense to have to break back to play defense on them. And then you can set up that secondary. That's where you get a lot of the Danny Greens wide open 3-pointers, or even Seth Curry get his open shots and stuff off of that type stuff.
I reluctantly agree with that.
And so that's all I'm saying. Again, I'm not saying like Ben Simmons was going to come in and drop 30 and make a big difference on that, but the stuff he does for our team helps us to win, and he's integral to our team's success. But that being said, man, this the only thing I say. I get what you're saying because we had that discussion talking about when I said I thought B should have came in a little earlier. The last game, to me, the last game was more winnable than this one.
I agree with that.
It was the first half of a back-to-back. If you got a chance to go ahead and get in there and play, I don't care if Embiid would have had to sit out this game, especially if Ben Simmons sitting out. You know you're gonna play them again on Saturday, and you're not going full. You got a chance to go full strength at them on Saturday. I at this point when you're leading the division, well now we're tied. But if you're leading the division, just win. That's all I care. Stay in that number 1 spot, and then you don't got to worry about a lot of that other stuff. So that's the only thing I don't think that any of these games are necessarily more important than the other.
I think
I agree.
I think going back to what I'm saying, Ephraim is crazy. As far as no, Ben, as far as B should actually, he was not supposed to play yesterday. In hindsight, in 2020, he should have set yesterday's game out. To me, having these 2 games, tonight's game and Saturday's game would have been more important than trying to beat the Phoenix game when they're not in our conference. They were going to beat each other out in the West anyway between Phoenix and the rest of them. We didn't need them for yesterday's game. I think with a strong Embiid and then Tobias coming back today, we probably could have won this game if we was all fresh. Because again, they came off. They haven't played since Monday. They all fresh. All of them are fresh, except for us. We coming off a back-to-back. Y'all think we missed Korkmaz a little bit tonight?
We missed. Do you think we missed Korkmaz?
We missed too.
Who?
We missed getting anything from Danny Green. What did Danny get hurt? Did I miss something?
No, he just was 15 minutes.
I just told you where Danny Green gets a lot of his points from Ben Simmons running on that fast break and kicking it out to him for wide open threes.
So Danny Green honestly, wasn't scoring the last 3 games?
No, not really.
One of them games he had a decent. What? At least one of them he had a decent game. At least one of them.
The last couple games he had decent games.
No, Danny been blowing the last couple games he had good games. He didn't even shoot that much. He shot 1 time.
But that's what I'm saying though. He gets a lot of his open shots off of that fast break, and Ben kick it out to him. Like for when you look at it, Danny Green gets a whole lot of shots, a whole lot of wide open wing shots.
But he did. But I mean, last game Ben wasn't there, and Danny Green hit. I think he had like 3 or 4.
Oh, he had 18 against Phoenix. Let me take that back.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
I know he had a good game.
Yeah, he was. That's what I said. The last couple games, he had some very good games. He's been balling pretty consistent. I have no. Yeah, I ain't been having no qualms about Danny Green except for the night. I don't know what happened tonight. I mean, it was so much other stuff
back to back.
Yeah, that's true. It was so much other stuff I was looking at that I was trying to pay attention to. Mike Scott came in and played exceptionally well. Mike Scott said to you, Wayne, "Shut up. Keep my name out your mouth. Keep Mike's name out your mouth."
They say
before Mike treats you like the ball from the Eagles game.
Well, tell Mike Scott,
gonna run up on you and put the balls on you.
I ain't no B. So the sun shines on the dog's behind once in a while too. So Mike Scott, he shot well tonight. He did.
Mike Scott gonna put them paws on you if you don't keep his name out your mouth. And he said, "I'm born tonight. Keep quiet."
Listen, I think I think Sixers
and feet.
let me ask y'all though.
I mean, Danny Green had 12 against the Warriors, so I mean that was decent. I mean,
18 in one game and 12 the other, so he played decent without Ben except for the night. I think it was I know y'all think Ben would have made that big of a difference, but who would he have covered? I mean, you had Middleton get off, you had Portis get off, you had Giannis get off, you had
from the beginning.
Everybody got off. You had Drew get off. I mean,
Drew Holiday went and used his size advantage on what's his name?
He had the first 5. And he had the first 6, and Middleton had the next 5.
Yeah, he set the pace.
Which McCall played us too. Tobias played us. First of all, he started off slow, right? Which is okay. That's cool. I'm not too mad at that.
So to be,
but no, I'm mad at Tobias because Tobias had the ball that you talking about. Drew Holiday in the paint a number of times and was so slow at making a move. He kept trying to back him down, just shoot over him. Like,
was he really hurt? I want to know, was he hurt or was this that load?
I don't know because the way he played against Drew Holiday to me irked me bad. You got 3 to 4 inches height on him. Just throw a move on him and shoot over him. Like you kept trying to back him down to the point the double team came. It happened so many times it irked me. And it made Drew Holiday look like he was like 6'9" the way he was playing against him. I didn't get that. I didn't get that at all. But
I mean, he's coming off of missing 3 games. We don't know what was his hip or something. They said
it was his knee.
Listen. That's even more of a reason why you just take the shot and shoot over. If you hurt and why are you trying to body? Like that's not smart to me. I think
it was more of him being. he looked rusty to me. Like he hasn't been at practices or something the last couple games.
He has
because he started heating up later on in the game. So,
but later in the game is what I'm talking about when he had him in the post. I wish I had the game. He had him in the post at least 3 times, and he did the same thing every time. He kept bouncing, trying to back him. I'm like, and then a double team comes up. It's simple stuff like this to me that cost you points in a game where you possibly could make some leeway and come back into the game. It was just stuff that irritated me like that. To me, that doesn't take you being out of rhythm. That's just not a smart play. But
a couple other things that affected the Sixers tonight. And again, it goes back to Ben Simmons, and he creates spacing for the shooters. And you saw that the shooters couldn't get their shots off, including Danny Green.
They shot 50% from 3. We shot 50%.
They shot 53%, but they weren't able to compete with what the Bucks were doing. The Bucks were bombing away they was hitting them corner members. Green is known for his corner 3-pointers.
We shot 44% from 3 to be exact. But what is us shooting 44% have anything to do with the Bucks shoot? The Bucks were just hot. Like that. We shot I agree with Ethan. We shot decent from 3. The Bucks was just hot. Like I said, they scored 26 points before they missed one shot. They scored 26 points.
But you know the difference between we're not a 3-point shooting team per se. The Bucks are. They shoot a lot of threes. They're 3-point. That's how they're built. We're not built like that.
3. Steph Curry was 3 for 3. Shake Milton was 3 for 5. Maxey was 2 for 4. B was the one who brought our average down. He was 0 for 4. He was the one who, for real, we'd have been well over 50% if you take Bede out of there. But I mean, we got open looks. It was just that the Bucks was just hot. We scored 117 points. That's ain't nothing to sneeze at. The Bucks dropped 124, and they was burning up the first quarter. They scored 70 in the first half. 77. They was hot.
77.
I mean, did we really?
There you go.
Did we really shoot? This is what I'll say, because that's like even what you said about Mike Scott. Mike Scott didn't hit open. Mike Scott actually hit contested threes. You know what I'm saying? That so I mean, to give him his props, he did. We wasn't getting wide open 3 looks. We was getting
Maxey threes. Mike Scott was probably the only one. Maxey's open. Seth, one or two of the ones he hit was contested.
But that's what I'm saying. We wasn't honestly. That's to Tim's point. Ben Simmons gets these guys a lot of wide open looks. We get like for real. If we look at like how many times Danny Green to get a wide open look somewhere, or Steph Curry get wide open looks.
I think they got looks to me.
I'm not saying this like to say Ben Simmons was a be all end all and we the one necessarily with him, but I'm just saying a game like the last couple games to me shows where Ben Simmons is beneficial for our team and where he has value for our team. So for all the people that say he's so trash and he's nothing, like he has no value on his team, he has value on his team.
I don't think
nobody's saying he doesn't have value on the team. We just want more from him. You never said he was trash?
I did.
I said he's trash as far as what I wanted from him. What I want from him to what he's doing, he's trash.
But a lot of people sit there and say
what I want from him what he's doing is trash.
A lot of people say he's straight up trash, and that's the whole point that I've been always making. He's not trash. He's one of our better players, and he has value
to what we want from him. That's what we're saying. You hype up 2 steals in a block. We don't hype that up. To us, that's trash.
Much more that you not.
I'm not hyping it, but see, you saying 2 steals in the block, but I also see defensive rebounds. Our rebounds been down when Ben's not in it. You don't see where we don't get the rebounds and out on the fast break as much.
You act like we're not.
Doc Rivers said that we don't have the same fast break offense no more.
The main thing I give credit, I do agree with you. I give credit for Ben for the fast breaks. I give credit for Ben for defense. As far as all these extra open looks, against a team like Milwaukee, Ben not going to get them open looks. You know why? Because everybody know what Ben going to do. This is a top tier team. They know Ben's game. He drives and he kicks. They'll be all over that. Trust me or not. Trust me and I'll tell you. Watch when Ben come back.
All right, we'll Saturday. We'll Ben come back. Revisit that on Saturday.
If Ben comes back Saturday,
we'll revisit that Saturday.
The looks is going to be very similar to what they got tonight, and I'll be shocked if we shoot better Saturday than we did tonight. We shot 44% tonight with B shooting 0 for 4. So if you add our guard shooting, the dudes who got the open looks, if you add they shooting in there, I guarantee you it's well over 50%. and I doubt if we shoot that high on Saturday.
Y'all not Wayne. You not act like we this
dynamics.
These ain't better teams though.
Okay, we shot 44. We'll see.
Okay,
we'll see.
All right, that's what I'm saying. Well, that's the good part is we get to play the exact. Hopefully, Ben Simmons plays, and we'll play the exact same team, and we'll see what happens.
We actually lost to the same. We beat the Clippers. We lost to Phoenix with Ben. Lost them again without Ben. Lost to Milwaukee with Ben, and lost again without Ben. So I mean, it's the same team.
We didn't have B.
But guess what? But we don't. But see, we don't use that same argument. And again, Embiid is my favorite player in the NBA right now. That's just my personal favorite. But we don't have that same argument when we lost to Portland without Embiid, but then we lost to Portland with Embiid. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that with Joel Embiid, but we do that with Ben Simmons. We talk about what we, you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying is that's why my whole point that I'm saying is we need Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, and Tobias Harris if we're going to play like and my reason why for saying that is like the Nets. The Nets have 3 top tier scorers. So you can actually kind of make when you got scores at the level that they are, you can make up if one of them is missing or even if 2 of them is missing because one of them can ball out offensively. With the Sixers, Ben Simmons brings something individually different from what Joel Embiid and from what Tobias Harris brings. So we need them 3 as a collective when we're going against these good teams.
I know that was a bad faith argument that you're making about Ben Simmons.
What'd you say?
I said that was a bad faith argument Ethan was making, trying to say that every time, regardless whether he plays or not, we're going to lose.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying we lost. You know, we listen. You got to understand these are better teams that we played. They're not the Orlandos or the Chicagos. They are teams we're going to see in the future come playoffs if we make it further. But the better teams play better. They play better. They got better defenders and they got better shooters.
When all 5 starters are playing, we are a different team. We've been playing these teams with 4 of the 5 or 3 of the 5 starters. When all 5 plays, total different team.
And it's to the point that it's a different setting too. You talking about the Sixers playing? We played the Bucks without Embiid
on a back-to-back.
We played them without Embiid, and it was a back-to-back then too.
A second,
if I'm not mistaken,
back-to-back.
And we were up on them, and they came back and tied it up, and then beat in overtime. So as opposed to right now, without Ben and with B, we got mopped, even though it was a back-to-back, and it traveled back-to-back, but we got mopped.
I mean, no doubt where we at now, the way the team is constructed, we need Ben Simmons. I'm not sitting here saying we don't need Ben and Ben wouldn't be a huge help. Yes, my point is where we really missed him. I personally feel I agree with you, the fast breaks and the defense. I'm not the open shots and what he creating for boys. Do he create a little bit? Yeah, he created a little bit, but to me I think them better teams is kind of they know what Ben's going to do, how he moves. But I think the defensive wise, we could have had him sticking Giannis if Tobias, who clearly I don't think can handle him. We could have had Ben sticking Giannis and B sticking Lopez, or vice versa. You could even have Ben covering Lopez when he went out deep and did a little switcheroo on that tip, so he couldn't shoot our lights out. So we got the length to play against this team defensively and offensively. If Ben is there and the rest of the team, the Shakes and the Seths and Danny plays up to their potential, I don't think we have a problem beating them. I think we could beat them. Seth went 3 for 3 tonight from 3. If he does that when we play him Saturday or something similar, or if Danny Green goes 2 for 5 or 3 for 7 or something from 3, I could work with that. We could beat this team if Ben's there, because I don't think they're gonna be scoring like that. Ben adds dimension to defense. That's why I was saying even was playing against Steph. This is why I think he would have been beneficial, and Steph wouldn't have dropped 40. Steph wouldn't have dropped 49 on us if Ben was there, because the length that he and the mismatch he creates on defense and how he makes you work. So
and we defended 3-point better with Ben. Like last time we played the Bucks, we defended 3-point better. Remember, they missed 4 3-pointers.
But y'all know that our winning record with teams over 500 is not that good, though.
It was the top 5.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. The Nets had the best, and I think we had one of the worst.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Before you
I'm
start,
telling you, I'm gonna look it up now.
I don't know. Somebody got fact check that. Fact check them, Tim. Get on that
because they put the stats up, and it was either top 5 or top 10, but we weren't bad at all. I mean,
we weren't that good though. I don't think we was over 500.
We were, or we were.
I mean, well, guess what? We gonna see what it is. We gonna see what it is. We knew this was gonna be a rough stretch. That's why we said. That's why I know me personally. I said this to me would dictate Embiid's run for the MVP. You know what I mean? He's going to be going up against it was a tough schedule going against tough teams.
And after Saturday's game, the schedule gets quite light for us. Then we got Atlanta twice.
Well, we play Atlanta
OKC.
twice.
We got OKC on Monday. Then we got Atlanta twice. So it's smooth sailing kind of toward the end of the game.
But that's kind of my problem. Unless they're saying Ben Simmons had the flu. So if he was legitimately sick,
he might not play Saturday too. They said
if he was legitimately sick, then there's nothing we could do about that.
Exactly.
But was Tobias Harris really hurt, or is Korkmaz really hurt like that? Only reason I'm saying that is because I think some of that is, remember, this is what the people are doing in the league now.
You saw when he twisted his ankle yesterday, though. You seen it.
Y'all light-skinned boys got weak immune systems. This boy is still sick. Like, come on, man. Like
he got jaundice. He got jaundice.
Yeah, how long do it take you to get to the blue,
this
man?
Who we are.
Come on. Oh,
here's the Sixers record. Y'all ready? I got it. This was before the Warriors game. This stat. The Sixers are 14-12 against teams with a winning record, right?
Okay.
But of those 14 wins, 8 games on nights where their opponents was missing at least one of their top 2 or 3 players.
So how do you compare that to the rest of the league, though? What was the rest of the league, and was they missing any players? That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is if
everybody missing.
And I'm not saying I agree with you. Like the Sixers have been that. I get that point that you're making, but all I'm saying is, in order to do that, you got to look at the whole league as a whole.
Everybody, yep.
Because everybody's been playing people with missing people.
Do that to your team, the Nets. Do that to them, and what's their record looking like against?
I can't hate on the Nets. I can't hate on what the Nets been doing because the Nets been missing like 2 starters. They've been missing 2 of their main dudes.
But how many teams that they run into that been missing players?
But my biggest thing with the Nets is you really haven't played with all 3 of these guys at the same time, and all 3 of these guys are scorers. So in some kind of way, they're going to get in each other's way.
They bound to drizzle.
You know what I'm saying? That's and they might still win. I'm not saying that they're going to lose, but I'm just saying that's what I'm saying. Even with the Bucks big 3, like you got Drew Holiday, what's the guy name? Middleton Giannis. And Giannis. They're all 3 different type of players. So you need them, but it's like they don't get in each other's way. They complement each other. To me, the Nets are kind of like they got.
I will say James Harden the way James Harden playing. I mean, they can make it work because it is all based on Harden. Because KD don't dominate the ball. All he needs is 2-3 dribbles and he pull up. The only one who really dominates the ball right now. The way Harden's playing, he facilitates. So if they get together in time before the playoffs, I mean, and Harden plays the way he's been playing.
But they say Harden might not play into the playoffs.
That's a problem. That could be a problem.
That's what I'm saying.
That could be a problem. But ultimately, I still think fully forced up, Voltroned up, the Sixers Voltroned up, we could beat the Bucks.
We need that number one. We still need that number 1 seed. If we get that number 1 seed, we don't have to worry about matching up with either Brooklyn or the Bucks in that second round.
I get what you're saying, but see, I'm not trying to. I do want the number 1 seed because I don't want to face either one of them. But I think that there's a couple of teams in the mix that will still make stuff difficult. Miami and the Knicks. The Knicks have played us tough all season.
The Knicks
play everybody tough. The Knicks play defense. They got 3-point shooters, and they get.
But we won't see them to the second round, right? The Knicks is like what 5.
Right. But
that's what I'm saying. 4 or 5 seed, you don't got to. You worry about.
Y'all know we could drop to 3rd real fast, right?
Yeah,
that's true. That is true.
But now Boston, they got it's a 2-game series between Boston and the Nets that they got to play before the end of the season. So they're gonna beat up on each other.
And Boston is another team that I think it depends on matchups. So I think Boston actually, not saying that they're gonna beat the Nets like this, that, and other, but I think teams like Boston and Toronto, because they have a lot of wing players and defensive wing players and scores from that wing position. They kind of match up better against. I just think it's a lot to do with matchups in this thing. The Nets are the Sixers' toughest matchup, though.
One of the things that Tobias Harris said the day after the game, he said he was dealing with a bone bruise. That's why I was out. He said he's good to go now after resting, and he's not feeling any pain. So that's a good thing.
Okay.
So who do y'all think our toughest matchup is? Wayne, I think the Bucks. I think the Bucks match up really well against us.
They do. I said that from the door. I'd rather see the Nets than the Bucks. To be honest with you.
I might too.
Well, now that the Nets don't have Aldridge, it might be a difference because I thought the Nets actually did a good job of loading up with a lot of bigger bodies so that they could throw multiple bodies at Embiid, and use multiple fouls on them. But I think losing Aldridge is big for them going against the Sixers. But that being said, the Bucks, I think the Sixers are better than the Bucks.
Me too.
I think the Sixers are bigger and strong. If you have Embiid, if you have Ben in there instead of George Hill playing defense on Drew Holiday is not going to go down in the paint and manhandle Ben Simmons and get layups and jump shots early to start the game off.
Agreed. I agree.
Yeah, but you ain't going to have Giannis on Ben in the post in the paint.
Okay, so if you got Giannis on Ben, then who's going to stick?
So you think?
So who's going to stick Tobias?
The boy Middleton.
Middleton can't handle Tobias in the post.
He handled it tonight.
Tobias got to a slow start because he set out.
And he actually outplayed Tobias tonight. He was killing Tobias.
No,
Tobias
Middleton
came alive in that third quarter.
No, Tobias, that's what I'm saying. And Middleton finally cooled down a little bit. The only one person who didn't cool down was Porter.
Bobby Johnson didn't cool down at all tonight.
That's what he was the only one that didn't cool down. He was hot. He almost hit 6 threes. The one he was just stepped over the line or something. He was on fire. But this is what I'm saying. Like, my thing is, I'm watch Saturday. This ain't happening Saturday. It ain't.
That's what I want to say.
Ben, right now, Doc said Ben is 50-50 to play Saturday. He said the illness is worse than we thought.
Even if Ben
I don't know what girl he was messing with. I don't know what he got.
But mono.
Even if Ben don't play, they not shooting like that. I'm telling you, they not shooting like that.
Now,
I'm sorry. They shot 50%. We shot 44. The Bucks shot 50%. They were 20 for 4. They had 23.
They might shoot. If Ben don't play, I can see them shooting like that again.
I corrected you already, but they're not shooting like that again.
Did y'all see at the end of the game when the boy traveled, like he took like 3 steps?
Yeah, Giannis' older brother. He only in the league because of Giannis.
It was kind of ironic because then they called the timeout. And I was with Chris Webber calling the game. I'm like, dude, this sound familiar to you?
I ain't even pay attention to that.
Yeah, how do you feel if you only getting burned in the league because your younger brother is the beast of the league? Like
you getting the check.
Basically, you getting $1 million because of your brother. And
at least Seth Curry's older brother is the beast of the family. Like, but if you like the older brother and your younger brother, that boy, it's like,
but see, Seth can actually be a role player in the league. Giannis' brother, he should be in the G League.
Is all 3 of them playing there? Because he got a younger brother.
One was with LA, I think. He's still there.
Championship last year.
Yeah.
So the younger brother got a ring and none of the other ones do.
We're about to roll out this joint. We'll see y'all on Saturday.
I ain't done yet. I got a lot to get off my chest.
What y'all got? Come on.
For one, I do want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to some of the comments. Chris Morin, my man is listening all the way from Ireland.
Oh, that's nice.
Northern Ireland. I want to give a shout out to that. That's love right there, man. Sixers fans still rocking with the Sixers all the way a whole nother continent over. He doing his thing. I appreciate the love. That's what's up.
But it's a country, not a continent. But go ahead.
I said a whole nother continent over. Is it the same continent? So they on the same continent.
Go ahead.
So they on a geography lesson.
They on the same continent. I said a whole nother continent over.
I'm sorry. I thought you said another continent.
Okay, you got to listen. That's your problem. You don't listen enough.
Go ahead.
Ain't the other guy from Australia too? I think Anthony.
Yeah,
Anthony Hurst. I think he's from Australia.
He's a big Ben supporter. He don't like it. He don't appreciate y'all hating on my man Ben like that. That's all right.
Yeah,
I still support the boy.
Homegrown. You know, you love your homegrown players. Ben from Australia over there, man. So you got to support him.
Yeah.
I will say this though, according to what Ethan was saying. Remember you were saying the last podcast that we needed the Draymond Green, the bull who getting everybody air. I actually think we might have that play. I think his
Who?
name.
Because I was thinking about that too. Who you think it is?
I'm saying Dwight.
Yeah,
I think it might be Dwight.
I was thinking
it might
about
be Dwight because they
day.
actually said that Dwight be all up in the young boys' ears, especially talking to them, coaching them up, and all that kind of stuff like that. Yeah. So Dwight might be our engine. It was funny when they was talking about. I don't know if y'all saw the point in the game when they was talking about Dwight and Giannis, and they was like, they got the biggest. Chris Webber's like they got the biggest shoulders in the league or something. Yeah. But the Dwight Howard shoulders dwarf Giannis' shoulders. Like when they kind of put them side by side, like Giannis a big dude, but the Dwight shoulders on another level. Like, bro, do you do anything besides shoulders?
Yeah. Chris Webber didn't say pause enough for me.
He naturally got shoulders because it was like that even when he first came in the league in Orlando. His shoulders was always just there, like Frankenstein Jones.
They brought up David Robinson, and he used to be like that back in the day too.
The Admiral, he was a workout dude, real swole. Yeah, but
we
be back Saturday. Saturday we're gonna win. I'm telling y'all, and they not shooting like that on Saturday. I guarantee you, they not shooting like that.
I just want to see our whole team play against these good teams. Man, I'm tired of us going against good teams with partial rosters.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of, and then we got our roster. They got a partial roster.
Yeah, I want to see everybody. I want a man.
I'm on it. They have a partial roster.
I know you don't. I want to see the test. I want to see the test to see what we do.
I want to give one more comment. Shout out to John Key. I think it's Jonkee. He said he liked how when somebody say something whack, the other person checks them. So I think he was talking about how I check Wayne a lot when Wayne say something crazy, and I had to recheck his craziness.
It might be vice versa.
Thank you, John Key. I appreciate how you peep game and notice how I be checking balls when bulls be talking out of pocket. So
I think Tim need to get checked the most because he just said Shake reminded him of I don't even repeat.
A Jordan. He said Shake reminded him of Jordan. Yeah. He said Matisse reminded him of Kobe, and he said that the other
Ben reminded him of Doc.
Yeah, young
and then he said the other boy reminded him of AI. Bubba Chuck.
Bucks
and Dwight reminded him of
17. We lost, but we'll be back on Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. We out.
We got early game Saturday too, right?
Yeah, early game.
So can y'all be on time?
No.